Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Critical, and welcome back to episode 7 of Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Check this out. We have gotten the entire monument completely cleared out. The inside of the monument and the underneath where the legs are down below still have water in them. But as far as the top side go, we have completely uncovered the entire thing, which is pretty impressive. It didn't take too long. I actually found, I don't know where I put them. I found a sponge room in the monument. It was hidden kind of up, like if you're swimming through normally you wouldn't see it, but there's a little hole in the ceiling in one area, and I swam up it. And there it was, a little sponge room. So I have about 34 of those now. I think they're all back at the island right now though. So I found that about halfway through clearing the monument, so the last half of this went a lot quicker than the first half did, because the first half you have to use like basically 8 to go down, which is exactly how many I had. So I was doing one column, coming back up, smelting them, doing another column, coming back up, and it was really painful. But that way I could do like 4 or 5 columns before I ever had to actually come back up to smelt anything. So that was pretty helpful, and that went pretty quick and pretty smooth. So the first thing that we have to do here is make sure that there are no guardians left alive inside or underneath the monument. Now, I already swam around the outside a minute ago and made sure to purge any that were outside the thing. I also realized that so I've only been killing the drowned characters with tridents in hand, because I thought those were the only ones that actually dropped tridents, which makes sense. I mean, the rest aren't holding tridents, why would they drop them? But I killed 2 a minute ago, because they were in my way of killing a guardian, and they dropped tridents. I want to get that Nautilus shell real quick. So it would seem that any drowned zombies have a chance to drop the tridents. I don't know if them holding a trident maybe increases the chance of it happening, or what. And of course, now that I've mentioned it, it's not going to happen on camera. But I guess I just need to be going through and killing all of them, because I'll have a much higher chance of actually getting one. It's literally not going to happen on camera. It's going to completely just make me sound like an idiot. But I for sure got 2 from ones that were not holding tridents a minute ago, so I think I just need to go through and kill any that I see. I think I only need maybe 20 more. I think I probably have about 30 at this point, so we should be getting pretty close to having what we need. I just need to get that librarian villager set up so that I can get the impaling books. But again, we're going to worry about that another episode. Oh, wait, this guy actually has a trident. Of course, he's going to drop one now, and it's going to be embarrassing. Nope, he didn't drop one. That actually kind of makes me feel better. Another Nautilus shell. It's gold. But this episode, I'm hoping we can get the whole farm set up. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to. So let's head down. Let's go ahead and let's start by heading down. Actually, the best way to do this is probably going to be to just drop in here. Oh, I don't have feather falling. That could have been really bad. Probably to just go inside the monument first, and then worry about the underneath part later. I want to make sure this doesn't, like, flow everywhere. There we go. I don't think there's any more guardians in the actual temple. Swam around here earlier, and I didn't really see any. When I found the sponge room, I didn't see any around. But let's do a quick sweep through. Just see if we can spot any. I need to make sure I'm checking the corners and stuff, because they can get really, up against the walls, and you kind of miss them every once in a while. So I need to make sure I pay attention. I don't think there's any this way. Down below, I think, is where most of them are, though. And I'll explore the ocean monument a little bit more. But I think down here is where we're going to end up finding most of these guys. I didn't realize the stronghold extended so far underneath the... there's a spider down in the stronghold I just heard. I didn't realize it extended so far underneath the monument. It's actually, wow, it's like covering the whole area down here. That's awesome. This is part of the sand clearing walls. There's holes over there. Boop. I'm pretty confident that that's all the guardians that are left alive. I've killed most of them. I've been killing them as I find them, and most of them were trapped in like the sand cylinders that I was, not cylinders, like columns that I was doing. I've killed probably 10 or so in there, and that was, you know, after I had already killed a bunch the first time I came through here, so I'm pretty sure we're probably good. And if we miss one, it's not... Does that sound only happen if there's a guardian? Because that would mean there is one more. What is going on over here? Aha, there are a couple. There's actually two. Boop, boop. Okay, but we should be good to go. I think that's probably going to be all that there is. Can I break out here? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's head back this way. So the first thing we need to do to actually get this space set up is something I'm going to do mostly off camera. Actually, probably, if I'm being honest, it's going to be entirely off camera because it's not going to be entertaining at all. Basically, there's a floor to this thing about 3 or 4 blocks down. I have to watch the tutorial that I'm doing this off of to check. I don't know if I mentioned it in last episode, but the design that I'm using is by, I think it's by Silent Whisperer. He does a lot of Bedrock farm tutorials and stuff. So I'm going to link in the description, whoever's it is, just to be 100% sure. So you can check that out there if you'd like to do one yourselves. But the first thing I'm going to do is make the floor. So the way I'm going to do this, since I'm using concrete and I haven't hardened any of the concrete yet, so it's all going to be powder. So if I try to place it in like a floor shape, it's all just going to fall, which is not going to be helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and place a dirt floor across the entire space, then layer the concrete over it, and then we can go through and just put water on it. Like, you know, go through and harden all the concrete like that. And that way we don't have to worry about, you know, placing all the concrete somewhere else, hardening it, and then breaking it all up and moving it here, because that doesn't make much sense to me. So I'm going to go work on that, get a bunch of dirt, cover this thing over, double check the levels that it needs to be at, and then we will come back and start working on the actual like kill chambers for this farm. Alright, so that is now completed. I've gone ahead and put in the floor. So there's a layer of dirt down here. I'm not going to worry about tearing that down right now or anytime soon. It's just going to stay there for now. And then I did the concrete powder over the top and went ahead and watered it all so that it's all the actual hardened concrete blocks now. So that's all finished up. I gotta go through and replace the walls with glass, which I'll probably do after this next cut here. But we need to find the spawning locations that the guardians are going to be at real quick. So that is going to be our next step. And I am incredibly rich, so we're going to be outlining these in lapis and gold. So the first spawning location is at the top, or sorry, it's at the northwest corner. There's 25 specific spawning locations, and no matter which way the ocean monument is actually oriented, these spawning locations are always going to start at the northwest corner. So we're up here. That's always going to be the top left of the map, because north is, where the top of the map would be, up there. So the first one is, and we're going to actually be building these up at ground level. The first one is right here. So it's going to be 2 blocks in from the edge on either side. And again, I want to note that this outline starts outside the ocean monument. So if I break this, and then I break this, that is the very corner of the ocean monument. So your actual wall that goes around it is on the outside of the actual ocean monument zone. So I'm going to place that back down. So it'll be 2 in from the very corner of the ocean monument. But we'll start here. And we're going to go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is, it's not a perfect grid. The numbers aren't the same. For instance, this next one is 15. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 block. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they're all in line with one another. So for instance, the next row over is always 10 blocks over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the next one's here, which means the one that's there is right here, and the one that's for this line is also right here. So they'll be spaced apart differently in, you know, all the different directions, but it'll all end up lining up with one another on the on the Z and X axes. So I'm going to go through real quick, outline all of these. I'll probably do it as a quick little time lapse because it'll probably be pretty fun. And then I'm going to cut and go ahead and replace the walls with glass because, again, that was something that I forgot to do before. But we will cut back in just a second and get all that finished up. Okay, so all of that is done. We got all the glass running all the way around the sides. I extended the floor out one more block just so that we didn't see the sand here on the bottom, not the bottom, but the border going around the edge of this because it looked a little strange, and I am going to eventually get rid of that sand anyway, so it doesn't matter. This looks really cool though. You can like see way out into the ocean without the water texture in the way, so it's just kind of like this foggy, like wasteland looking thing with these little floating things going through it. They don't look like they're swimming. They look like they're just flying around in this like underworld area. But this is the killing chamber design. And I'm going to build one of these on camera real quick. I built a couple. One from the tutorial and one to make sure I understood what I was doing. And I think I got a pretty good handle on it now. So basically what this does is it allows us to switch between the two different methods of killing them. The first one is like this. We're going to have tridents in there getting pushed into where the guardians are spawning, and they'll be spawning on that back block right there directly below our lapis. And then the second way is if we flip it this way, we can send them to the nether. Now, we're not going to have the nether version set up. As a matter of fact, these portals aren't even going to be lit. They're always going to be in this mode doing that. The reason I'm going to set it up like this is I think I may put a block here and have that be a way of turning off the farm. I'm not sure. I also just like the idea of like having the ability to add the nether function in the future if we want to do that. But it is likely that it will not get used. The other thing is it's the same design up to row 3 going all the way down this direction. So there are, 15 of this design. And then on these two rows, it's actually mirrored so that the items are coming out of the left side instead of the right side, like on this one. So it's basically just this whole thing inverted the other way for those last two rows. But let's build one on camera here, and then I'm going to go through and just build all the other ones off camera. But I did want to show you guys how this works. So the first thing you're going to do is directly below your marker blocks, which again, there's a tutorial link in the description to, or there's a link in the description to an actual tutorial someone did. I'm just kind of going through the basic steps of how I've been doing this to kind of show off the different functions. But then you're going to place 2 solid blocks here and surround the rest of these sides in glass. So now you're leaving an open chamber here and an open chamber here. Then we're putting a slab here. This lets the guardians the guardians will stay stuck here, but the items that they drop will still be able to squeeze out of there. And then on this side, we are going to place the portal, which again, we are not going to be lighting for our design, but you have the option to do that if you'd like. And then glass here, here, and here. I think all three. Yeah, I can look at my design over there to tell as well. Glass at the top like that, and then now we're going to put the pistons in. So there are 2 sticky pistons here and here. These block the guardians from going one way or the other, depending on which way you want the farm to work. And then these 2 pistons right here are the ones pushing the tridents into the zone. Then we're going to put a glass there, and oops, that's powder. We want to use the actual concrete. And a block on either of those, as well as a block of glass here. A solid block here, here, and here. And we're going to place some redstone dust on top of this one and under the piston on the right side over there. Then we're going to place a block here. And up on the top here, we're going to start placing our torches and redstone. So we're going to do a torch there, a repeater there. It's going to trigger the farm. A repeater here with a lever. This will allow us to flip that off. And then with a repeater there and a torch here, we can determine whether or not, or which one of these is on. So we can flip it back and forth like so. And I believe that is the entire thing. Well, okay, I take that back. I think there's actually supposed to be glass here. I want to double check that though. Yes, okay. So that is the entire design, and it's very quick to build. That's, I mean, you know, maybe a minute to build each one. So I've got, what is that? I built 3. I got 22 more of these to build, so shouldn't take me too long. I do think I'm going to go get some more bone meal because I don't think I have enough dye to dye everything the correct colors that I want to use. I realize these marker blocks are actually part of the thing, so I'm just going to leave the lapis blocks in as the kind of markers. They look good in the ocean environment. They look kind of cool here, so I think we're going to leave those like that. But I'm going to go through and now add in all of these different chambers real quick. Hopefully it won't take me too long. And then when we come back, I think we work on the gathering location and kind of the water tracks and stuff. So I'm going to work on this and then I'll catch you guys in a bit. Okay, so it is now the next day. I was able to get all of the kill chambers in, and I went ahead and added the water tracks or the ice trails going all the way to the center point. So now all the items come to the center point. There's a ton of freaking fish spawning in this farm, and I've had to mute my sounds because they're pressing the pressure plates and they're flopping around, and it's the most annoying thing in existence. But what we need to do now is run the redstone to every single one of these chambers. So I moved the lever for this one up to the center, and this is going to be the one that actually turns our farm on and off. So this is insane. Look at this. You know what I should do? Here's a little bit. I'm just going to cover that for now so that none of the fish pop out anymore, because this is going to get crazy if they do. So what we need to do is run this redstone cable all throughout. So the best thing that is said to do from the tutorial, which is exactly what I'm going to do, is at every intersection to just have a block with a repeater going to it and extend this at every one of those. So we're just going to have this run down, and then at each one of these we're going to break that and just have that going like so. I don't think it'll reach all the way. It will not. So what we need to do is right here, just have another one. And actually, that doesn't actually reach. Hold on. Is that far enough? It is. Okay. It's just very, very dim. It didn't look like it was actually reaching all the way over to the other end there, but it looks like it is, which is good. So yeah, I just need to go through now and add these in going all the way down. This is another situation where I need to extend it Whoops. I need to extend it here. And then I'm going to do it again. Oops. I'm going to do it again here just for the sake of making it easier. It's not like an expensive step of this. It's just repeaters and redstone. So if I need to do more because I've laid it out, you know, inefficiently, it doesn't really matter. Oops, don't do that. That's going to break the farm. But I'm going to run through and add all of these in now. Not a super entertaining step. This episode's very much me just kind of doing progress updates because it's all redstone and just placing things in bulk. So, but hopefully we'll be done here pretty soon. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this redstone placed in, and I actually haven't looked at what the next step of the farm is. So I'm going to do that real quick as well. And then we will come back and hopefully be finishing this up here pretty soon. And with that done, we are almost done with the farm. So the last thing that we need to do, I actually need to dye these white. I did forget to do that. The last thing that we need to do as far as the actual building of the farm goes, where is all my bone meal? It's probably all in here. Is we got to add the item chamber going up so that all of the items make it to the top. Now, I'm going to take about probably 8 of these. Let's go ahead and craft some glass. There we go. So we just got to get the items going up here. I temporarily placed some lava here. I need to get a bucket. I placed some lava there so that the fish would stop flopping all around because it was getting annoying. But now we just got to get it up there. I went ahead and added all the redstone in, and then there's a torch tower going up to the top. So I moved the lever up to there, and now we can turn the farm on and off from the top. Now, I do need to go through and place some solid blocks or some glass inside the nether portal so that the guardians don't get to there, or perhaps just have it there. The farm will probably pretty much always be on. Yeah, because I don't ever want the guardians to go here. So we need to make sure we have a way of keeping them from ever going this direction. But, of course, it's raining now. But let's go ahead and add in the chamber. Take that out of there. The great thing about water, or bubble columns, I should say, in Bedrock is you don't actually need all of the blocks to be solid water for the whole thing. You can get away with just having one at the top, and it'll go ahead and bubble column the whole thing, rather than just where the source blocks are, like it does on Java, which makes this so much easier. Oops, I don't want to lose another piece of glass. I'm gonna drop down and get it. So we need to go. We're gonna go a few up. 1, 2. 3, 4. We're going to go a couple above because eventually I'm going to add the storage system in, and the storage system will be up here. But I have not worked out, you know, what I'm going to do about that quite yet. And then we're going to go like this. I actually need some more packed ice because we're going to have this run this way just a touch. I need to go grab that actually before we continue this. Am I going to die? Ooh, that was very close. I've really got to get feather falling on my boots. Do you hear this fish? It's so annoying. It's the most annoying thing. Let's see here. What did I come down for? My brain is mush. Ice, and I also need to grab some of the scaffolding blocks, which I don't actually know that I have any on me right now. I want to add some scaffolding blocks going up the back there eventually to help get myself up there, but for now we're just going to build a stack of blocks, and I actually don't have enough blocks, so we're also going to use some glass. Very sketchy pillar that we're making here. So what we're going to do is we're going to place 1, 2. We're just going to do 2 for now. We'll extend this out later after we've figured all of this out. So let's not fall down the water chamber. But what we want to do is we're going to place a pressure plate there with a water stream right here. That's going to bubble column once it reaches the bottom. And I actually want to place... How can I get up there now? Can I... No, that would have been awesome. Let me place a piece of packed ice now. I want to cover this mostly. At the moment, all of the fish are just going to flop around and then eventually jump off the thing and just fall to their deaths. Eventually, when we set this up and we do the whole sorting system, I'll have the last thing be lava and they'll just go into lava after all the items get picked up or something along those lines. I'll find a way to kill these guys so that they're not getting in the way. But at the moment, there's going to be quite a few of them. But that is the farm done. That is it finished in its entirety. All we've got to do now is get the tridents and get those put into place. But other than that, this thing is good to go. Like I said, real quick, I'm going to run through... Do I have enough glass? No, I have 15 glass. I'm going to run through and place a block. I think I'm just going to place a block here just to stop them from getting out of there. Look at all these fish. It's a crazy amount of fish. I'm going to run through and place that block in all of the chambers just so that we don't end up with any guardians escaping when we do turn on the farm. And I think that's probably going to do it for this episode. I don't know how long... I don't know how long this episode is so far, but I don't think we're going to have time to do anything else this episode. I think I'm going to have to take some time to get the tridents and get the impaling books for the tridents. So I think we're going to end this one off here. I normally don't mention my other series in other videos. I usually don't talk about the other stuff, but I do want to say I am I am uploading videos of Minecraft Dungeons now, and I'm trying to do those pretty much daily. So if you want to check that game out, I've got 2 videos up right now, and I'm trying to upload them pretty much every day at about 7 p.m. So if you want to check that game out, stay tuned for some videos from that. I'm having a lot of fun playing it. It's a really, really cool game, and it also looks just incredible. Shaders and stuff can make the game look pretty cool, but I've never seen a version of Minecraft that looks that pretty since story mode came out, and I think this even outshines that. So definitely go check that out if you want to. I highly recommend it. And but yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. I think I covered all the things now. So next episode, we're probably going to take a break from this. I may work on this off camera to try and get the tridents in place, perhaps. But I think we're going to try to work on something else because I want to take a little bit of a break from this area. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.